Hamish was very committed to conservation and a particular interest in marine conservation, and he had the good fortune and the will to actually follow his dreams and his passions.
By the time he was 26 years old, Hamish Saunders, a marine geologist, had travelled to some of the ecological wonder regions of the world, like Antarctica and the Galapagos Islands. In 2003, his experience in remote work earned him the rare opportunity of joining 3 government scientists as a volunteer on a wildlife survey of one of Tasmania's remote and wild islands, Pedra Branca, a 300-metre speck about 28 kilometres off the south coast. The expeditioners set about investigating its important seabird rookery and behaviour of the endemic skink, but then the weather turned ugly.
A massive swell built quickly, with reports of some waves smashing over the 55-metre rock.
On the 15th of April, Hamish Saunders and his colleagues were hit by a large wave. The young New Zealander lost his grip and disappeared.
Police say he wasn't wearing a life jacket. The other 3 scientists made it to this peak where a helicopter pilot performed a remarkable rescue.
The body of Hamish Saunders was never recovered, the coroner concluding he died from an act of nature. Back in New Zealand, his uncle Alan Saunders says the family is still mourning their tragic loss.
He approached everything with a passion, with enthusiasm and with humour. As a result of this tragedy, we needed to have something positive come from this for his family and his friends, and also for conservation, which Hamish felt so strongly about.
So Alan Saunders, who has 35 years' experience in wildlife conservation, has teamed up with Tasmanian authorities to establish the family's lasting tribute, the Hamish Saunders Island Survey Program. Every year, 2 Kiwi volunteers will get the chance to help build an inventory of the biodiversity on the 300 islands which lie off Australia's island state. Dr. Sally Bryant is in charge.
Hamish represented a number of important values that we all hold. That is a volunteer's contribution to nature conservation programs, and hence we've set up the survey work to include volunteers.
The first candidates, Jenny Drummond and Andrew Dophyder, are both science graduates and keen ecologists. They've started their research at the uninhabited Tasman Island, where the sheer stone walls rise vertically from the Tasman Sea to form Australia's highest sea cliffs.
It's quite spectacular. It's obviously a really great place to be and to work. It's very excellent to be here, actually.
The volunteers are unfazed by the potential dangers of this type of remote work. They've been given full safety briefings and supervision from Dr. Bryant, who had been involved with coordinating the ill-fated voyage to Pedra Branca.
Those sort of incidences are something we can learn from in terms of risk analysis and improving our techniques, but everybody understands that when you're in this line of work there's an element of risk.
So what we do, Andy, we look around for tracks, small runways in the vegetation. This is pretty thick. But
trapping small mammals is new to both volunteers, as there aren't any similar species back home, and the discoveries keep coming.
There's a lot of breeding seabirds on the island. There are a particular range of pest problems such as weeds, cats, and we also have some unique species including invertebrates. Quite an unusual cricket lives on the island, plus some rare plants.
the flight over, just the sheer rugged isolation.
Volunteer Jenny Hammond says careful protection and management of remote islands is vital.
They're a stronghold for many species that have been wiped out on the mainland due to introduction of pests, and their places largely untouched by humans after all the farming is out of the way, especially in modern times. You know, people are starting to see that islands are places where species can be protected.
The Saunders family hopes that this environmental volunteer program can be expanded across the Tasman Sea.
The next step is to build that exchange so it's two-way, both ways, and then increasingly into the Pacific is our vision, taking, if you like, the seabird connection.
What do you reckon Hamish Saunders would have made of it?
I reckon he would have been on for coming here. It's such a fantastic place, and really that's what it's all about. It's wanting to be a part of these remote places and just to have a great experience and adventure, and really that's what we all want to do deep down.
See how you find the track?
Like the family, the scientists who were involved with the Hamish Saunders tragedy are also comforted by the promise of what this memorial program may achieve for conservation. Alan Saunders says it's the best way for the late volunteers' dreams to live on.
Now we're on a positive track, and there are just fantastic opportunities, the Australasian connection, if you like, for starters, to actually do something really worthwhile in honour of what Hamish lived for.